try the craft beer? You said a craft beer? No, but I love their mac and cheese. I used to be a pretty big drinker at one point in my life, and I can remember, when I first started drinking, I got so drunk, I came home and I threw up all over my steps. Yeah, it was my stepbrother and stepsister. After hearing Brandy said, I kind of wish it was her stepkids. I do remember back in those, back in the day, I used to know this chick in school, and every time she got drunk, she'd start to cry. Do you know those types? And I was like, would you stop crying? I can't hear what you're trying to teach. I miss middle school, I do. Okay? Okay. Now, I don't mean to pick on the fellas, but I do think when it comes to drinking, I think men tend to be a little bit more boastful about it than the ladies. You know, they say things like, well, last night I got hammered, pound of beer, nailed pretty little lady in an orange vest. That is the last time I go drinking at the Home Depot. I did a show the other day, and some lady came up to me afterwards, and she goes, you know what? She goes, I don't appreciate your little alcohol jokes. You sound like my 22-year-old son. He just drinks to get drunk. And I go, well, of course he does. He's 22 years old. That's kind of his job at this point in his life. I go, well, I hate to break it to you, but he's probably having sex just to get laid. Like, I was like, did you really expect some 22-year-old dude who's never, only been drinking for a year legally to be walking around with like a smoking jacket and a brandy snifter? Oh my, what a lovely bouquet. What year is this, Mad Dog 2020? Susie and Mel were talking about pot. Do we have some pot smokers in here?
Yeah.
Okay. I wish I was. I don't have the right personality for it. I'm a little too just anxious all the time. I'm always just sort of on the cusp of panic. And so I don't do any pot whatsoever. I don't even deal with the CBD topical lotion. Even that I don't deal with, because this is what I'm concerned. What if I try it and it becomes a gateway ointment? You don't know, because it would start off innocent enough. Oh, just a little pot cream. Just a little pot cream. Next thing you know, you're using psilocybin mushrooms as a loofah. And you're exfoliating with crack rocks. I don't want the road to my demise to be paved in toiletries. I really don't. So there is a lot of stuff going on in the news right now. Have you guys heard that they're doing a whole recall? They're finding a lot of lead in certain items. They're finding lead in Lunchables. They're finding lead in cinnamon. They're doing a whole recall on cinnamon. And that's terrible, but the only good thing that comes out of it is at least we know what makes the crunch in Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It turns out it's just chunks of pipe. That's it. I don't know if you guys remember, but back maybe 15 or 16 years ago, there was this whole issue with lead, but it was in children's toys. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and it was specifically in Dora and Diego toys. I don't know if you guys remember that. Yeah, and the reason that's so prominent in my mind is because at that point I had very small children, and that's all they played with. And I remember, gosh, being kind of just scared because I was this new mom thinking, oh my gosh, what's this world coming to when little tiny Americans can no longer play with Puerto Rican dolls that were made in China. But there's still a lot of stuff going on. In Australia, there was a group of engineers and scientists, and they came up with a battery for a solar-powered car, and this battery can go up to over 600 miles just on one battery pack. Yeah, it's called the Silver Swift 7. Yeah, Taylor Swift is now writing a revenge song about it. That's a lot. So do we have any theater fans? Are you guys theater nerds back there? I don't know if you heard this, but they are going to redo Death of a Salesman. Really? Yeah. They have to kind of modernize it to appeal to Gen Z and the millennials. So they're calling it Death of a Telemarketer. It all takes place within a call center. And honestly, no, it's really that sad. Right. That's sad. There, in North Carolina, a sheriff's department had to pick up a bunch of poachers. Actually, they arrested 2 poachers. But the twist was they weren't like poaching animals. What they were poaching was Venus flytraps. So they arrested 2 people. It's true, they arrested 2 people. The first person was like this bad boy dentist. And the second person was his assistant who kept saying, "Suddenly Seymour." See, you guys in the back know. That was 2 theater jokes, guys.